Hello my beautiful people. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how I do my contouring on my face, and then I'll do my eyes and like my eyeshadow. I had a couple of you guys ask me, showing you guys the Tarte like contouring kits, like how I contour my face, and I usually don't do a lot of contouring just because I feel like that's just kind of not cheating, but unless you want to perfect your face, you know, I feel like that's an extra step in your routine. And I usually just do like bronzer, blush, and then sometimes highlight if I'm on the go. So I wanted to show you guys how I do, you know, just my contouring. So I'll finish up my face. I'll show you guys how I got this like eye look of just like everyday kind of bronzy of an eye, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the look, so stay tuned. Also, before I get started, I was actually thinking of doing like a Q&A, so if you guys have any questions regarding beauty, me, anything at all, please do leave your comments and questions in the comments section, and I'll go over them. And I'm thinking of doing like a question and answer video pretty shortly. So either you can leave it in the comments below or tag me on Instagram. I'd be more than happy to kind of answer your guys' questions. And it doesn't have to be beauty related. It could be a little bit more personal. Anything you guys want to know, anything that I do, anything that I have an opinion on, I'm definitely willing to share. So let me know if you guys are interested in something like that, and let's get started. Okay, so what I have on is just my foundation, my lip, and my brows. So I'm gonna do the eyes and all the contouring or blushing and, you know, highlighting on camera. So let's get started. For the primer, I use the Too Faced Hangover. For my foundation today, I use L'Oreal's 24 Hour in the shade 303. Infallible. And also I set my face with the Fit Me by Maybelline powder. And so I haven't even done concealer yet, so let's get started. For my concealer, I'm gonna use the Maybelline Age Rewind, and I feel like this is an amazing concealer for the drugstore. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go right under my eye for the dark circles, on the bridge of my nose, and then usually right here I can do a V, and then I do a line right here. And then I just take my beauty blender that I used for my foundation, and I just kind of tap that in just to highlight the points on your face and cover up my dark circles. I don't really have like that huge of dark circles, but I feel like this always helps either way. And then you just stick your dampened beauty blender, and then you just kind of tap that in. And then once you tap that in, you're good to go. I always set my concealer, unless I'm using the Shape Tape, I set my concealer with powder, and I'll use the same setting powder that I have right here. I'll just take a big fluffy brush, I'll go in around it, and then I'll just like go underneath it, just to kind of set the powder so it doesn't crease under your eye. Okay, once I have that, then I usually go to bronzer and blush, but since some of you guys wanted me to show you how I contour my face, I'll do some contouring right now too. So I'll go in, once I have my foundation and concealer, I'll go into my bronziest contour. I'll use this one from this palette. I feel like this is the only really shade I use from this palette, is the contouring shade, because it's really nice. It's a nice gray toned, not too warm of a contour powder. And then I'll go in, and then I'll just go like in the hollows of my cheek, because I have like a pretty round face. So I feel like just where the bone is, right underneath right here, sometimes my chin a little bit, and a little bit under the lip, and that's about it for contouring. So let me go in, and I usually, once I dip the brush and the powder, I sometimes tap it on the back of my hand just to get the excess off, just so there's not too much powder on the brush. And then I'll go in, and then I'll just kind of draw a line and blend it in. Not too high, not too low. So do you guys see like the indent that the shadow created? It's really cool how contouring works and light, you know? And then same thing on the other side. And then make sure it's always blended out. Okay, not too much. And I'm gonna try to do a little bit darker than I usually do, just so you guys can see, visibly see on the camera. And then I'll go in a little bit more. I'll go right here, and then on the other side. Just so my jaw is a little bit more aligned. Okay, then I'll go right and underneath my lip a little bit. And usually I do this without lipstick on, but just a little bit, just to give it that like shadow effect. And that's it for my contour. Now, after the contouring, I usually blend everything out with bronzer. So I'll go in, I'll grab a little brush like this. I'll go in to my Hoola Benefit. I really like this bronzer. I feel like it's a really nice tan of a shade. And then I'll tap off the excess. And then just same thing, where kind of what you want to do is like where the light hits you. So where you're most tan, which is on the parameters of your face, kind of on the top of your cheeks, your nose, and then the tip of your chin. Just like you were to have like a tan. And then the other side, I go all the way up to almost my temples. A little bit on the chin. And then I'll also go on the parameters of my forehead. So like right on top where the hairline is, I'll just go a little bit. And then right here where like the top of your eyebrows are, I'll usually just dab a little bit just to kind of make that area a little bit more pronounced. Okay, once we're done with bronzer, I usually just do blush, and usually YouTubers and people online do their blush like on the side like this. I like to, since I put my bronzer like right here, I always like to add a little bit of blush on the apples of your cheeks, because if you think about it, that's where your actual natural color shows up. It's not like on the sides of your face, it's actually like on the apples of your cheeks, right between your nose and your eye, like in the little square formation. So it shows like right here on the apples of your cheeks. So that's where I usually put my blush, and I feel like it gives that like natural glow and that realistic look. So I'll go in with the blush by Milani, Dulce Pink. I love this line, some of my favorite blushes by far from the drugstore. I'll go in with like another fluffy, a little bit more of a dense brush this time. And then I'll just go in, and also I always tap on the back of my hand just not to like have excess amount of powder on the brush. And then I'll just go right on the apples of my cheeks. And then I'll kind of blend, and I usually blend outwards, so like outwards, away from your face, to give that airbrushed look. And then I'll go all the way up to the end of my eyebrow, and then down, and then kind of just blend that in. And then I'll do the same exact thing on the other side. Do you guys see how like it's more of like a natural look compared to like just having it on the side right here? You guys can actually like see where the skin would actually gain color. Now I'll do the same on the other side. And I brush it away from the face and all the way to the brow bone. A little bit on my nose sometimes, and I'll go a little bit sometimes over the bronzer just a bit. And then that's it, you guys. That's my contouring and blushing. And sometimes I will use a highlighter, but I'm not the biggest into highlighting, like bling bling highlight. I like a more natural of a highlight. So what I'll do is I'll take like a little stippling brush, and I'll go into one of my highlighters. This is actually by Becca. It's Champagne Pop. One of my favorites. And then I'll brush off a little bit on my hand, and then just like in a C shape, just right underneath the eye, just to give that natural glow of a glisten. And then that's it. Sometimes I'll do a little bit on my nose, a little bit on the chin, but I don't like to be too shiny and shimmery, so this kind of just gives that like natural glow to the skin. Okay, so once we're done with that, now it's my favorite time because it's the eyeshadow and eyes. And the palette I'm going to be using today is the Tarte's Pro to go. I love this palette. I absolutely fell in love. It's around $20. You can get it at Sephora and I think Ulta. And these shadows are just like blew my mind completely. They are so amazingly buttery and pigmented. And this is the palette I'm going to be using today. And it seems like, because there's only 6 shadows, it seems like not a huge variety. But I feel like you can do so many looks because you have like your beige and transition colors. You can go a little bit more berry, you can go a little bit more gold, you can go a little bit darker and smokier. So there's a lot you can do with this palette and it's just like so adorable and so cute. And I absolutely love it. So I'm going to go in with a more of a fluffy brush and then I'm going to go in this first shade right here as my transition. I'll just tap it on the brush and then just all over the lid kind of go back and forth just to give it that base for my other eyeshadows. And I always go a little bit in the middle, then in the inner corner, and then I drag it out just a little bit out, almost meeting your like eyebrow, the end of your eyebrow, just because that kind of lifts the eye and brings it a little bit more up and awake and kind of, you know, opens it up a bit. And then I'll do the same thing to the other side. And then I'll drag it just a little bit out. Not too much, but just a little bit. Make sure everything's nice and blended. And I don't know if you guys can see like the shadow already from the transition color, because this is like a darker transition color. It already kind of lifts the eye up. So that's that one. It's the shade Drive that I have as my transition. Next, I'm going to go in with a little bit of a smaller fluffy brush that's kind of like tapered a little bit. And then I'm going to go in with the shade Crisp, the one right here, this like deep rusty color. And then I'll tap just a little bit. These, I'm telling you guys, these colors are so pigmented. You literally just need like 1 or 2 taps max because you're going to get like too much product on your brush. And then I'll start with the outer corner and kind of in a circular motion, just kind of slowly blend the two together. And then go a little bit above your crease line and then just blend, 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 blend. Just a little more. And then I'll take the same color, what's left on my brush, and kind of drag it on the bottom just a little bit. And I'll do the same thing to the other side. So just in the outer corner, blend it, and then kind of slowly start bringing it inwards. And then whatever's left on my brush, I'll take it and I'll just go underneath. Just to kind of have that same okay. On camera, I feel like this eye looks a little bit lighter, but I think it's just the lighting, so don't mind the color variation because in life, like, it looks even. Now I'm going to go with a little pointed brush, and I'm going to go into the color Hype, and just on the very tip, I'm going to take it and then apply it on the inner corners of my lid. And then I'm going to drag it out and apply it on the center of my lid right above the lash line. And then just kind of blend it in a little bit. And then it's okay if it's not blended at this point because we're going to go in and blend it with a fluffy brush. So in the inner corner for the light shimmer. And then right on the top. I'm going to spread it out. And then we're going to take the same little brush that we just used for the darker color, and then we're just going to blend that in. I love shimmer on the eyelid for any kind of look because I feel like it totally like makes your eye pop and wakes it up and kind of gives you that more of like a opened eye effect. Now, with the same brush, I'm going to go in to this shimmery shade Bossy. It's like a deeper brown, but I feel like it will go great and deepen my outer crease a little bit. and then just gently, 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 just tap it in on the outside of the corner, and then just blended that in. And then same thing to the other eye. I'll take Boss, and then just in the very like middle of the crease, just to deepen that crease a little bit and kind of blend everything in. And then I'll go in with the regular fluffy brush, and then just kind of blend everything out and in. Make sure everything's blended, there's no harsh lines. Perfect. I feel like this palette is just so gorgeous. I absolutely love it. I feel like this is going to be in my January favorites. I've been using it quite a bit, and I just absolutely love it. So once the shadows are done, what I'm going to do is just apply some mascara. And for that, I'm going to use this Dior mascara. It's a really thick kind of brush, and I'll just go in and just do my eyelashes, top and bottom. And sometimes I'll do liners, sometimes I'll do false lashes, but today I think I might just do like a quick wing at the end. And I'll go in with my Too Faced black liner. I usually just do, like for every day, just a little tiny wing, not on the whole, like I don't outline the whole eyelid. I'll just do like a little small wing. It's really hard to do this with your mirror like so far away, but I don't know if you guys can see, but like I feel like it gives a little bit more of like that dimension to the eye, and I feel like it looks great. Now if I don't do like really smoky eyes, I usually go in with like a nude pencil and then go into my waterline just to brighten up the eye a little more. And that's it, you guys. That's my like look, my contouring, my eye look for like everyday type of look. I hope you guys enjoyed this little quick tutorial, and thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Mwah.